And in that construct, democracy becomes toxic. In a construct of absolute poverty, democracy becomes toxic. So we must fix the base. The base needs fixing. The villages, we need to see enterprise in the villages, we need to see all that. And I think our political leaders should focus their energy on industrializing this country.
Okay, Alai, let me ask you this.
That's Jeff.
Okay.
Yes, I wanted to speak about that.
Yep.
The industrializing the nation. We have KEPSA. Now the rich men running the corporates in this country. But you've seen what they've been doing also. They're just going the tribal way. The press conferences they are attending, they're trying to appeal to ethnic emotions. Maybe they're also looking for tenders from government. We don't know. But if you try to look, even what they're saying, even they brought the UN boss and is now bringing problems the UN Human Rights Commission and the rapporteur, Kiai. He wrote a very scathing, I hope you read that
I
opinion.
did indeed, yes.
Yes, and it's very unfortunate what KEPSA did. Our rights, our freedoms to assemble and express our opinions peacefully cannot be said that if you're going to do that, they are going to kill somebody. If today I organize a demonstration and I say I want to demonstrate against the abuse of workers in company ABC, then tomorrow KEPSA says that, oh, you can't go because people will break our companies. Then an opinion, somebody writes an opinion in the delegation and says that, we cannot go and have Saba because we'll scare away investors. We are okay with our problems. Nobody's complaining. None of these people are complaining. None of the KEPSA or the editors of the magazines are complaining when the president is making tribal appointments. But they are complaining when people are expressing their opinions.
But don't you think that it's tragic for a country to look up to government for employment? Look at what has happened with the police.
Yeah, the recruitment.
Look at all those young people who have come from their homes, they are educated, they have nowhere to go. That's the tragedy that is killing this country, not the tribalism. It's poverty, and it happened even in Kikuyu areas. There were long queues of people trying to be policemen. A policeman is a very low-paying job. Everybody's fighting for it.
6,000-7,000 shillings.
Yeah, people are fighting for it. People are dying for it. That is the problem we must see, that people are too poor in this country. Forget about the tribes. Fix this country. Let us get enterprise going. A lot of those people in KEPSA are people who have stolen from government. Let us get real entrepreneurs who create wealth from ideas, not wealth from corruption. And let us make corruption very, very expensive. If you can fix corruption, the Auditor General says we lose 300 billion shillings every year in the budget average. If we have only 47 counties, in 5 years, if Uhuru can save the 300 billion shillings every year and says that we are going to put this 300 billion in 2 counties, tomorrow in the other, we are going to have industrial in this country.
Alai, everyone keeps saying when that oil comes out of the ground in Turkana, everything's going to change. Is it true, or will the rich keep on getting richer?
It will be different, because Kenya does not have any resources like the Tanzanian have, all these minerals we have. But Kenya does not have such, is not blessed with such. And now we have discovered the oil, and everybody is fighting for it. If you go 2 years ago, land in Turkana was 10,000 maybe, 20,000 maximum an hectare. But now you cannot go and buy it at that same rate. And now you see Turkana has even more problems of rustling, and people are starting to wonder, is this the oil curse you're trying to experience? So I think it's very important that we have to talk now. We have to correct our systems now. If we don't do it now, then this nation, however powerful anybody in power might think that he can contain the situation, it will happen one day. But can we protect it? Me and you. There's no way you've... Amo umeweka pesa USA.
Wapi?
Maybe you have invested
in account.
I'll tell you one thing.
Go on.
When we begin pumping that oil, the Turkana have got no reason to be Kenyans. Because the Turkana cannot be a president in Kenya today. Why should they be Kenyans? They have got water, they have got a big landmass, they'll have oil. Turkana will secede.
But already they are tenants.
So the thing is,
the people who own the land now are not even them.
Correct.
So we must fix this country and detribalize the presidency so that the cream can rise to the top. Right now, it is the rubbish that rises to the top. We do not have systems that can guarantee the cream to come to the top. We must have systems where an El Molo can be a president of Kenya. And I'll tell you, if you look at the civil wars, most of them are caused by the small tribes who feel locked out of the democratic systems And so they look for alternatives. And I'm telling you, the resource curse will hit this country if we don't look at it carefully.
We'll go the Nigeria way?
No, Nigeria, not the Nigeria way. We might go the real civil war way, where people kill each other.
Because of resources?
Because of resources. And so that's why we must now make design a system that is inclusive, that allows everybody to be what they want to be.
Yes. Too many people have too much at stake and they want to eat too much. The greed factor in other words.
I was reading, there's a magazine which is always being printed, and I was reading just 2 weeks ago, this Africa Intelligence something, and they say that immediately they wrote that report that the Turkana oil will have to be exported through Lamu, the port of Lamu is being built. And the fighting started.
Mpeketoni happened.
Mpeketoni happened, and it has happened, and now it's spreading to Likoni. It will spread to somewhere else, and it will be crazy. I think.
And they're saying it's all tied to the pipeline.
Yes, it's tied to Lapset. Yes, it's tied to Lapset. Can we solve the resource problem? Because if we have these issues of fighting over resources, taunting each other, we ni Mjaruo, we ni Kikuyu, this, and we have not been able to solve that. What if we have a third thing? An issue we are fighting for, a resource.
Yes.
Because now we have just been fighting over our taxes.
Correct.
We have been fighting over our taxes, nothing else. But now we have something, an asset.
That'll be a real war, right?
People will die. People will die.
An unstoppable one as well. That one you can't stop.
Yes.
And I also don't think that the oil in Turkana will impact this economy that highly, because the Kenyan economy is largely a service economy. And I think we should go in that direction with this oil just being supplementary. If you look at what we call Kenya today, is the Uganda Railway. Me and one fellow is really crying that the government in one way puts up the Lapset Railway and opens up that part of the country so that the economy that is we call Kenya today, which is just basically the Uganda Railway, we can generate another economy the other side, expand the Kenyan economy, and use these opportunities. And even if we were able to stabilize, a lot of these countries around that area have elites who want to invest. They might be more comfortable investing across the border, where the security and Kenya can benefit, can get the peace dividend or the security dividend that we have been having across the border, so that we look at those kind of issues and really put down proper infrastructure, not use it for stealing, like they're doing with the standard gauge railway. Put up infrastructure, and listen to the Bible where they was asked, which father among you, when your son asks for when your son asks for bread, you give him a stone. Right. That's for a fish, you give him a snake.
Yes.
That's what is happening with our leaders through corruption. They ask for this, they give us bad things. So let us really take that thing down, and let us work towards making this country productive.
Alai, let me ask you this. Will the day come where it won't matter what tribe you're from, or better yet, it wouldn't matter who's president?
Yes.
Because this country...
It can easily happen. And I wish that would happen with Uhuru. Because, Uhuru is somebody who is very young. And I believe he can do it. The problem is too much at stake. The people who are ruling this country also sometimes might not be in State House. They might be pulling strings, the lobbyists. They might be pulling strings from somewhere else, and they might be fighting for their own survival. But I believe that there is a chance. And it cannot even take 6 months, I think. Because you're just now fighting over appointments. Uhuru decide now to correct the PSC appointments.
Yes.
Nobody will complain.
Alai, you surprise me, because you still have a lot of goodwill for the president. Eh?
Yes.
You still have a lot of goodwill.
Yes.
You haven't given up.
No. I believe that he can make it's very early. How many years? It's
one and change.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he can make the change. The problem is that when it reaches a time, after 2 years, people will be fighting for the next election.
We'll be in campaign mode again.
Yes, campaign mode. So he cannot make much change then.
Yeah.
And he'll be trying as much as possible. And replacing him might not be a problem. So the next term, he might be looking for his replacement.
Yeah.
So he might not be able to do much. The best time to do much, to change things is now.
And he doesn't have to be a magician.
Yes.
He just obeys the Constitution and implements the Constitution the way it is. And I'm telling you, he can unlock a lot of potential in this country. And especially in the area of corruption. I think that the worst thing this government is doing is not even tribalism. It is corruption. When they are looting so much from the public coffers. And no, corruption works in 2 dimensions. People have been looking at 1 dimension, which is the expenditure side. There's a lot of corruption on the revenue collection side. If you look at the revenues collected, first of all, we have got no mechanism of ascertaining how much has been collected. We depend on the declarations of the revenue collected.
Right.
Number 2, when you look at the withdrawals from the central bank and what is factored in the budget, there's a huge gap. So who is hitting this money that is withdrawn from the central bank but never finds its way into the budget? So there's that corruption on that side. And the president needs to calm down and become an anti-corruption czar and say there will be no corruption, there will be no patronage. And if he does that for 1 year and we get the big names who are involved in these things locked up, I'm telling you, this country is going to unlock its potential.
I was about to say a lie. We need some big arrests, some big name arrests.
After checking what Mo did during the Dream Team.
Yeah.
I think if we can get that kind of action, if we can arrest some people,
and lock them in for a little while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Make
Shock
them pay.
therapy.
Make them pay. And they should not just be big. They should be big and powerful.
Sure.
Yes. If tomorrow you arrest the cabinet secretary for interior and put him outside and put him inside, and he's the like what is now happening with the PS for interior. He has been arrest warrant has been issued how many times?
Correct.
Yes.
And then what do they do?
Nothing happens.
Nothing's happened.
Because he's untouchable. Not because he's I don't know what is happening. But if it was somebody like Okiya or Alai,
yes, or Koinange,
I was even arrested that I had documents on the FDR railway. And they drove me around to Dandora, to wherever. Where did you get this document?
Yes.
I told them the friend of a pickup.
You didn't.
A GK pickup, hit a pothole, a box standoff. But because they said they don't know I got them,
yes,
they couldn't argue against my version.
Yes.
How many times have you been arrested?
But I've been taken to court 28 times after being arrested.
And how many times have you slept in?
I've slept in all the police stations in Nairobi.
All of them?
All of them in Nairobi. I've done, I think, 3 in Mombasa. And so...
Allah, you spent some time in jail too,
yes,
right?
I spent some time. The last time I was arrested, I spent some time in industrial area.
Oh my.
Yes. So
I've also been in industrial area for 10 days.
the thing is that they try to, they just, and harass you.
And harass.
And this is not the best thing to do. This is not the best thing to do.
No.
Because what did I do? I claim that somebody did something. Then why don't they challenge me? Why don't, if you don't agree, because that's defamation. If you don't agree with me, why don't you take me to court for libel, defamation?
Yeah.
But
and they never did.
You find somebody making a call to Ndegwa Muhoro, please go and arrest this person without making a record in any police station. Pick up and take to court. So even the judge is wondering, where is the OB record?
And that's impunity right there.
Yes.
That's impunity.
That's the way, some people, that's how they have their way in Kenya now. But if the president can correct that and insist on the rule of law, then the people who are arresting us should also be at least, you make them more human. These people live in pathetic conditions. They are paid poorly. But if we leave them the way they are, they are subject to that. They'll just be manipulated. And if a policeman who is well paid will not agree to being misused, and they'll say, no, you can't misuse me. Because
gentlemen, we've got 2 minutes to go. I'll give you all both. Actually, we've got about 3 minutes. So, Alai, you go first. Closing thoughts. Your thoughts. Talk to the nation. Talk to our people.
I think for Kenyans, the best thing we can do is that we should start complaining if our ethnicity is being favored. If you're a Kikuyu and Uhuru is favoring you and is making somebody kosa chakula somewhere, please complain. That way, he will not do it again. But if we try to make it look like he should do it all the time, then we encourage them. And that's the best way to kill the ethnicity now. The ethnicity is that I will complain if Raila favors me because he's a Luo like me. So if a Luo is favoring a Luo, Luos should complain. If Kikuyus are being favored by a Kikuyu government, Kikuyu should complain. That way, there'll be no ethnicity.
Wonderful.
I think we should make it difficult to be bad in this country.
To be
bad. It's very easy to be bad in this country.
Yes.
And it pays to be bad in this country.
Right.
So we should make it difficult and expensive. And I think myself that I am a Kenyan and nothing else. I'm a Kenyan, and I believe that every other person is a Kenyan, and that common identity is being assaulted by poverty. Even in a family, people end up fighting over resources. So you need to have a proper design of how we are going to manage people. But most importantly, my plea is that we should look at the economy. Let us fix this economy. Let us fix this economy. Let us make Kenya an attractive place to come and to create wealth, to create new wealth. Let us also give people instruments. You saw these things of pyramid schemes. A pyramid scheme came to Busia, in my little Busia, and in a week they stole 70 million shillings, which means there were 70 million shillings idle in Busia, having no opportunity to be invested. Let us create instruments through which ordinary people will not sit on their money, but can put them in projects, and let us then create savings. Let us create a capital base. Let us create an industrial fund. Let us industrialize. Let us forget about land. People have moved, even theology, moved away from land. The earth used to be the center of everything. Galileo told us it is not. It's elsewhere.
Yeah.
So let us look at the stars. Let us get off the land. Let us industrialize. Let us make Kenyans rich. For as long as you have got very many poor people, democracy will not work. All these symptoms we have will be there. And let us stop trying to kill every snake and every mosquito that hatches in the swamp. Let us drain the swamp. And the swamp is poverty, nothing else.
Alai,
no tribalism, no ethnicity. All these are symptoms of poverty.
Alai, let me ask you this. So, now that I had the guys from Central last week, now it's you guys. Who do I put on next week? Do we go to Rift Valley?
Yes, you should go.
No, I don't think that I fit in that criteria. I came here as a nationalist. I did not come here to represent any ethnicity.
Yes.
In fact, I was surprised by my friend Ken Jiru.
Yes.
I thought he had smoked something. You gave him something to smoke. That's why I sent you that text.
Why me? Why always me?
Your hairstyle.
Baletuli.
Your hairstyle tells it all.
Okiya Omtatah Koiti, thanks for coming, man.
Most honored.
Keep fighting, man. Keep fighting.
The republic will not be taken for granted. It's not an estate, it's a state.
Talk to your cousin.
I'll talk to your cousin. I will.
Tell him.
Yes.
He has a chance.
And you still give him goodwill, right?
Yes.
You still have a lot of
I
goodwill.
still believe in him.
Huh?
He has to be with us. We have to live with him for 5 years. If I don't like him, where will I go? I'll change nationality.
Good man.
Yes.
I think he's watching.
He has to watch.
My goodness. You see, the conversation rolls on. Keep tweeting. I apologize, I couldn't read many of your tweets, but I tell you, the conversation was too good. It was on fire that I just cannot. But let's continue the conversation. At Robert Alai, at Okiya Omtatah, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is JKL. I keep saying, gotta keep talking. The minute we stop is the minute we start fighting, and you do not want to go down that slippery slope. Thanks for coming, gentlemen. Tomorrow night here on JKL, you're gonna love this woman from Samburu. We were at the Transform Kenya Awards last weekend, and we ran into this woman, and she decided she agreed to come on the show. Name is Sophia Lepuchiret. Unbelievable. First Samburu woman to go to university, and now she's giving it all back to her community. Check it out. Same time tomorrow, right here on Kenya's television network, KTN. Thanks for watching. Good night. Good luck. Thank you, gentlemen.